and step up and get our hands a little chilly and cold and make sure that the right people had the right things at the right times due to our vast distribution network of pylons that we enacted to make this situation fruitation happens and as habitations, capitations, and capillations. And we did. We
over
did
here
just
south
that.
of the Appalachians. You didn't say Appalachians, did you? I couldn't make out half of that.
God damn it.
Part where I tap the cards on the desk. This is where everybody's upset. Sorry, YouTube. I don't know what was going on. We are live on YouTube now. I don't know what the heck was going on, but everybody could hear us over there on freethinkradio.com. It's one situation, it's one station or the other. Over the past couple of weeks. Last week it was actually China. We were unavailable in China for an entire, I think, a week. But we got that sorted out, right? We're going to be back on the air over in China. We're big on that shortwave.
We're on the moon.
Yeah? Which side of the moon are we on? And I mean us.
Dark side.
Which side should we be
That's
on?
where we got our
Figuratively?
the light side. We've kind of fucked it up a little
Speaking of the moon...
Because we can't... Yeah?
Yeah, tell me about it, right? What a crock of
M-O-O-N.
big old
moon.
bullpucky manure that is. The moon.
Hey, did you watch...
No.
Did you watch the meteor shower? Did you go out there and look up at the heavens and see if stuff was falling from the sky?
Anytime I want to see the stars, I just go into my hall of mirrors. That's where I go for stars. They're in my eyes everywhere I look. It's so charming. Not a befuddling.
I'll tell you what.
Befuddling.
I'll tell you what. If there's anyone that would have gone outside to look at the meteor shower, I'm sure it would have been our good friend Cosmac of Cosmac's Commandos, because he likes
that was a pretty weak Cosmac's Commandos call.
I thought it was.
He's a nice guy. We played video games the other day together. We held our hands.
What'd you play?
Virtually. What did we play? We've been doing an ongoing series on the Hypercube YouTube channel, which you can find at youtube.com/hypercubego, featuring Dr. Fox's Bad at Video Games. And I'm so bad at video games, it takes an entire team of people to help me play them. And we've been playing Gateway to Homo World, which is an interstellar trip way past Uranus, but it's a text adventure. But surprisingly, we've had one or two. Actually, just one. We've had one interestingly enough character show up and started reading the voices in a goofy voice. I don't know if I should plug him. That might go to his head. But it was kind of funny, and you can see those over on the Hypercube YouTube, on the Hypertube. Which one are we calling that? Hypercube. No, that's the one we have.
I'm trying to find all the media and the sources of information about our vast empire, and I gotta admit, I'm getting a little lost. I thought I was watching this show on YouTube, but it was an old show. Because I like to watch myself as I do the show. That's just something I like to do.
Well, you can do that in the little window right there. Now, hold on, Peas. Your internet connection is bad enough. You know, you're already connecting on the 33.3 kilobaud per second dial-up modem with your Logitech H2670 serial port webcam. You know, the amount of upscaling that we have to do here. Peas, we're on 4 pins here at Hypercube. They give us 4 and we only use 2. You're on 9, 12, 18 pins? Come on, Peas, how many pins do you have plugged in? Peas, how many pins do you have plugged in?
I have so many pins plugged in. As Peas says, he ponders the question and ponders how many pins he does have plugged in, but he doesn't know what pins are, so he couldn't possibly plan on providing pen information at this time.
Yeah, you're the guy that was pushing serial pencils, right? That was the idea.
At one time, yeah, I was. Free pencils for $1. You get a free pencil for $1.
I think I told you that was the first time I met you, and I said I'm not paying you for this. And you're like, "Oh, you can have two. You can have two."
Yep. Because you got it, man. I gave them out at X Day. I made a whole bunch at X Day. Every time I go to X Day, I make something.
Every time you go to X Day, were you at the good one?
Every time I go.
I didn't make it to the good one.
I think the ones I've been to have been pretty good. There's been adventures. There's been... Dude, I think I went to maybe some of the last good ones, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how much longer these old people are going to be able to do this shit.
Hazel says, please ponder pens plugged pronto.
It's the best.
That's why...
She should do the show. She did the show one time. Didn't they do the show
reluctantly.
One time? Because we couldn't do it?
Well, yeah, there were times that, I had a baby, I pushed a baby out of my deuterus, and I took a night off for that because I earned that as an American and a man.
Did.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And
okay.
And then a couple others, but yeah, we turned over. That was something that I was considering on a rerun night. And I think it was even at the behest of someone like Agent Lloyd or someone crazy like that. It was just like, leave the chat open. Just leave the chat open. And just do that. So we did that. And we still recorded it. And it turned out to be some of the best episodes of Time for the Show you and I have done. Or primarily the ones we're not
remember
on.
Some. If we get asked if we mentioned Agent Lloyd on this show, like tomorrow or something, we have to remember that, yeah, we kind of did in the beginning. Now, we won't mention him anymore. We won't mention him any further, but let's not... Because I wasn't sure in the past if I had mentioned him or not, but I hadn't thought I had.
You get the Patreon shout out. We're not even mentioning him. We're crediting him. We're giving him due process. He's a nice guy.
I just want to make sure.
He's a producer, please.
We bantered about, but that
we
was
banter about everybody in the chat.
That's what we do. It's what we do. We're banterers, really. It's a show of bantering.
What did you ask for
Have you
Satan
ever
Claus this year? A baklava?
Dude, I feel really bad because the COVID 2020 year for me has actually been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
I kind of agree. It hasn't been too bad on my end. It's been, it hasn't been easy. It could have been a lot worse.
No, it hasn't. And listen, here's the thing. I had to learn how to do new things like cut my own hair. I bought some $23 clippers.
Or order Taco Bell on the phone.
Yeah, who knew you could do that? Why ever leave your house again? I one time ran up an embarrassing lunchtime bill for the week to where I had to promise my wife I wasn't going to use DoorDash anymore. I was like, but my foot was broken, in all fairness. I was trapped in the house. There was no way for me to get sustenance without making it myself. And sometimes I just didn't feel up to it. Because of the COVID. COVID's been tough, everybody. I hear you, but there's been some good stuff. Pretty soon we're all gonna get a virus vaccine that even if it makes us turn into a mutant, you can't sue them because you were gonna die of COVID. We saved you.
Yeah, which side's the real winners are the people that survived COVID without the vaccine. That's the ones that we're whittling down to. But COVID's not real. It's just to keep people inside from, not going up and looking at meteor showers and stuff like that. It's a huge distraction.
Did you know
it's just the flu, Pete. It's just the flu.
It has 106% survival rate. So I don't understand what the problem is.
How many times have you gotten COVID this year?
17.
I've got it at least 12 times this year. Every 3 weeks, I've gotten COVID, and I matched all the symptoms.
And it mutates.
I had a little fever. My throat was scratchy. I'm mutating though. You know?
I was irritable. I was irritable pretty much one day, and I tried to hold my breath right after I did some frop, and it was hard to keep my breath in. And normally I can hold my breath a long time when I'm breathing in frop. So I COVID.
You had to switch over to the Vicks.
Yeah, I think it gets in my body.
The Vicks CBD vaporizer.
It mutates. Yeah, it mutates and then it goes out and it comes back and reinfects me. Says, well, "Let's go again, bitch."
I noticed that I was coughing and hacking a lot more after things like running or smoking a cigarette. Threefold easily.
I find myself. Here's something that's crazy. I was trying to go up some stairs the other day. Right, went up like 2 flights of them. I had to stop, take my breath for a minute. Pretty sure that's COVID.
It's keeping you down, literally, not just gravity. And gravity's not real. That's another thing. Because I told you about that last week. We got an email because we do time for the shout outs, and I had a request for somebody that has proof of the flat Earth, and they wanted to share their proof of the flat Earth on time for the show. So I responded. It was immediately, and I was like, "Can you do the show now?" And they send me a link to a calendar website, and they're like, "Yeah, go to here and book me for tonight." And you had to pick how long you wanted him on your show for, and then you had to request like days that he was available. And he had exactly. He needed me to know that he was legitimately busy talking with people all the time. But unfortunately, I couldn't do it immediately. Pease was unable to do the show last week because of his fight with a lawnmower. And this week, I tried to hone him in, and he didn't give me anything. So yeah, if you like to be on time for the show, if you want to be on time for the show, if you want to be on time for the show, just send me an email and let me know when you're available. Otherwise, don't ask me to sign up for your newsletter. Yeah, okay, yeah. But this is a good platform. There are a lot of shows on YouTube right now. There is so much quality programming that you can access by just entering certain keywords into the search bar right above us. Did you know that? Like what? Like what? Name one. Why would you do that? Name it. Fingerless gloves. How to make. Well, could use fingerless gloves. I always love it when the movie is on and a guy's wearing fingerless gloves and you're like, dude, why don't you have regular gloves? It's pretty fucking cold out. Aren't your fingertips cold? And he's not doing anything that requires fine dexterity, but he's still got the fingerless gloves, and I think that's kind of cool. He's a hacker. His fingers move too fast. He's a skiing hacker. How do you go skiing in Las Vegas? Oh, we got a wonderful ski resort in Las Vegas, dude. It snowed here this morning. Is that just not fallout from the testing grounds? Win-win. Win-win. Win in the wind? Yeah. Win-win. Either way. It has not rained here in 264 days. And how long is that? Is that Earth days or Las Vegas days? Because time moves differently around Las Vegas. They don't have clocks in any of the Denny's in Las Vegas. No, they don't purposely, because they want you to. Because Grand Slams are all day. Right after the other. Grand Slams are all day. Did you do an arms up to the Grand Slams are all day? With the horn, because the Grand Slams are all day. That's why there's no clocks at Denny's. That's funny. Every other week we just go through those crappy headlines and try to work on it. Did you go through any headlines today? Did you prime your load catchers? I went through them yesterday.
No, sometimes I do. Well, those are yesterday's. Today's Monday, right? We're doing the show on the regular day, aren't we?
No, it's still yesterday because we haven't reached tomorrow. So I've got plenty of time to do these jokes. I have to try and remember it though, because I had to have my producer / assistant / director / executive producer, my wife,
boss
here,
his boss,
and writing down notes. You know, she would read out the headlines, and I would just sit there and I would, bash my head against a wall, and I would try and come up with something. One was the British and the French are fighting over waters to harvest scallops from. The French notably using them in their renowned cooking, and the British using them to clean their teeth. So that was... see, you laugh.
Oh, man,
that's funny. That's a joke. That is good. That's a real joke.
It's a good one.
It's almost
I like it.
But I have to, because otherwise...
Bob Hope.
If that was what that's what time for the show used to be. It was, here's the headline, and now here's 10 minutes of radio silence as we all think to ourselves of something funny to say about that. If you get the chat going,
well, I don't know if it was 10 minutes. I don't know if it's 10 minutes.
This experiment, yeah, that's why we did the show for 2 hours. So I said, if we do a 2-hour show, we can cut out all the bad stuff and the dead air, and we can get like 5 minutes of good show out of that. And after editing that time for the show Best of Supercut a few weeks ago, that was the best. Yeah, it's an hour-long program. It runs 45 minutes of the best. There's a lot.
Got drumsticks.
Like, we're at like episode 150 or something now. Or we're coming up to it. We should be.
We should have sweatshirts.
Yeah, we need big hooded sweatshirts that say like a with like a dog,
Chinese
like a big jacked
at the writer's table,
like Scottish Terrier, just benching like super weights, like 5,000-pound super weight barbells, and he's got like a swollen package in his man-cut shorts that's just hovering over like a trophy that says the best XXXL. How many X's is too many?
Point of order. Point of order. Man-cut shorts.
It's impolite to point of order.
Man-cut shorts, the definition being, for clarity, a denim-cut jean cut to short length where parts of the pocket can be seen below the hem. That would be the man cut of shorts in your neck of the woods, would it not?
Cut for men, as in like as bipedal human beings. Cut for mankind.
But you get me, right? The mental picture that you should have with that is the short denim jeans that you've turned into a swimming suit, but there's still a little bit of the pocket that sticks out.
Oh, your Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, well, but for men,
men cut
you
Daisy
see that
Dukes
all the time. You see that all the time in Central Florida, and you're like, "What's that guy thinking?" You could chafe.
No, you can't do cutoffs anymore. That's unfashionable. You have to get your short shorts like hemmed up. Like you have to have the seam.
Really,
it's scraggly.
A seam and everything.
Yeah, you need a oh my God, what is it? Pleated. You need a pleated cuff.
Pleated seam.
A pleated seam around your jean shorts, your jorts. But you still have the zipper. Whose idea was it to put a zipper right there? In an age before elastic waistbands were a popular thing too. So you'd be free balling behind. Yeah, I had button fly jeans all the way up.
Yeah, that's all I buy. That's all I buy. But you know what? They're a pain in the
I
ass.
thought
with the
you were
belt. And
buying
now I got
micro
old man
mini
hips.
skirts now.
No, I'm the kilts. I am doing the kilts now, but I'm saying when I wear jeans, I always wear button fly jeans, and my whole life they would just stay up. Now that I got old man hips, I gotta wear a belt. They're a big pain in the ass because I gotta like undo my belt and undo the buttons to pee. And I mean, I'm like a step away from dropping my pants down to my ankles like some Canuck from Canada pissing at the.
You don't have
urinal
like
at
a
the-
back
at
shelf
Timmy
to rest
Hortons.
your jeans on? Have you professionally old mans
Oh, man,
now? Has your
gone.
ass
It's
dissolved?
gone, man.
Diminished
It's
glutes?
fucking gone.
Do you suffer from diminished
It's
glutes?
gone.
This
I
is a
can't remember the
real
last
disease
time
that
I
people
went-
suffer
Yeah.
from, Peas.
Yeah.
You shouldn't
I
take
can't.
this
I
lightly.
can't remember the last time my wife told me I had a nice ass, and she used to tell me that all the time. And I had a nice ass, but it's gone. It all goes, kids. Everything that you like about yourself, your beauty.
Well, you got
your
yourself
wit,
a new
your
set of teeth. You
intelligence,
could just go get
your
yourself some of
hair.
those ass implants. You're always going over to Mexico
Nah,
for stuff.
but-
There's a
but
guy
you
down
know-
there that'll load you up with
it's
concrete
fake.
today. And if you slip in 50,
In
he'll
the
go with the
end,
quick
you know,
dry
it's all
stuff so
fake.
you can get it on the way out.
It's all fake in the end. That's where you see like people like Nancy Pelosi and stuff, and if they're all scratched and they're like that person's like 117 years old trying to. They think in their mind because they had this work done that they still look youthful, but everyone else is horrified. Like there's a woman who literally tried to turn herself, make her features more feline, and she's like super wicked, famous and rich, but she looks like a monster. Like in the 50s when they put monster movie out every week, no one would ever
What
have put this one.
pejorative,
Oh, that's
please.
too scary.
That big M word.
I'm gonna look her up. I'm gonna look her up right now. We
Send
all
me,
gotta
yeah,
know
I
who
could,
that
yeah,
is.
send it over to me. I'll put a picture up. We can do that on YouTube.com now, because we can show people
We're gonna
things.
do that. Just give me 1 sec. Do some banner while I look that up.
Yeah, I would put the picture up, but then I'd have to move over and do the other thing. So I'm gonna get ready for Peas to send that. Reminder that there's
Jocelyn Winderstein.
Jocelyn Winderson.
That's who you need to look. Jocelyn Wilderstein.
Oh, Scalpod's posted it in the chat. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up here.
There you go. My brother's Scalpod. I love you, Scalpod.
Here we go.
Come down
Via
here.
Scalpod.
Okay, that's like a kind of before. Oh no, that's and she's much worse now.
Have you? Now
She paid. And she's a billionaire. She paid someone to do that to her, and she thinks she looks good.
Wow. You know, I met somebody. Let me see here.
You and you're married too. That's unusual.
I met this guy who you should be able to see up here on the screen in a second. I met this guy a few years ago, and
Oh, Cat. I've met him.
where did you meet him at?
I met him at the computer store, Trader Computers, in San Diego when I was the manager there. And Jeff Levitt, who was my boss, was talking to the guy, and we were trying to sell him a computer and all that stuff. And Jeff goes, "Hey, what's your name?" And the guy just kind of looked at him and goes, "Is it Cat?" And the guy got pissed off and walked out. But it was like, dude, what do you expect? You come in with a tattoo of a cat on your fucking face. But I think that's his name.
Was his name?
I've
Well, it
seen
still
that
is his name, but pretty sure he's Big F these days.
How come?
Yeah, because he's dead.
He's dead. What happened to him? Did Jeff Levitt kill him?
He definitely no. I think he ate that woman's husband. Let me see here. Tiger Man. Body stalking cat through. Yeah, died 2012. Okay, all right. You ready for this one?
I would have met him in
September
1997.
2007,
He did not have
at
whiskers.
age 49, stalking cat moved to Tonopah, Nevada.
Yeah,
Tonopah,
it's Tonopah. It's
Tonopah,
Tonopah.
Tonopah, Nevada.
Soda Paw.
On November 5th, 2012, he died alone in his garage. He was 54 years old. News of the death became public 1 week later. In an online post, BME Zine founder Shannon Larott wrote that his death was a suicide. Now let me ask you, Pease, does that look like the face of a man that is depressed? Is that...
No, he seems super happy. I'm a tiger. Rah.
Yeah, I remember...
you know the most wonderful thing about tigers? Is there can only be...
Hey, we can't say the T word on this show.
Tigger?
It's okay when...
It's
not appropriation when real tiger people say it. You gotta be polite. Trump pardon Tiger Man.
I don't want a lot of things for Christmas, and I don't like to use my radio ministry for evil or for my own gain. But please, if you have any faith in any kind of entity whatsoever, please reach out to it and beg, plead, whatever you do, rub blue mud in your belly. Please ask for President Trump to pardon the Tiger King. Because I think that would be awesome, and I would like to see like a season 2 of that.
It's a good exit strategy. You know, it's
make the people happy.
Where does Tiger King live? Because we kind of have our Tiger
prison right now.
Where was he at though? I haven't watched the thing. But
he's in Florida.
He was in Florida.
He's in Florida.
I figured that.
No,
he's
in Florida prison.
Well, where was he at doing his crazy bullshit though?
Oklahoma.
Because we have a guy that says he's Gary Busey's nephew, and he's got a sex cult going on here in Central Florida. And he's got a place called the Sausage Castle, and for ridiculous amounts of money, you and your friends can rent out rooms at the Sausage Castle, and you can just party until, I believe the old one got burned down, so they've got another one now. I don't know what the situation is, but
dude,
it's insane.
Have you
ever seen that animated GIF of the guy lifting his fat gut up and the AK-47 drops out and they pick it up and start firing it? Have you ever seen that?
No, but listen.
Really?
Has any good good ever come
from Florida?
Any good ever come from any conversation where the guy that you just met comes up to you and says, "Hey, dude, you like to party?" And and he's wearing them man-cut denim shorts I was describing earlier. You know, you need to keep your wits about you in that situation. That could mean anything. That could mean going out. And
what did it mean the first time?
You just don't know.
What did it mean the first time?
I don't like to talk about it. I don't want to say.
Have you not?
I don't want to say.
It's not what you've learned, it's what you've unlearned.
Yeah,
it's what we've forgotten that's important. How many times did you get COVID this year, Pease? We didn't do that joke already.
17 times. I'm going to use my same answer from before.
Oh,
These people are checking.
No, I gotta go get my numbers. What?
Did you Dr. Wife Person Producer do any band things to like tease the audience with as we go to our first break?
Actually, yeah, we don't even have anything like that tonight. The first one that we had was what you threw out earlier, which was Spicy Lo Mein. Is Spicy Lo Mein a band? So I guess
right, let's do it.
We'll take a song break, and when we come back, we'll find out if Spicy Lo Mein is a band. You're listening to Time for the Show on freethinkradio.com, youtube.net.
Tool Media. Two kinds of media.
This next song is by my good friend Jesus Christ, and he loves you.
He's a superstar.
He loves you.
Sorta. This is the time of year he loves you because it's his birthday, but in a few months, trust me, he's gonna be pissed.
She's got COVID in her smile. She's got COVID in her eyes. She's got COVID in her kisses. A cold woman in disguise. She's making it hard to breathe in here. She's leaving hickeys on alone. A disease that makes you wheeze, baby. Oh, COVID girl, what have you done? No more than 25 people. I'm coming to my COVID party. This man is doing a call. If you wanna get naughty, face mask burning out loud. Face mask is holding back a crowd. It ain't a healthy kind of love, but only kind of love that gets me out. She's a sexy girl. She's a sexy girl. You say you're killing people dead. Stay home with your quarantine queen, but I'd rather be with COVID baby instead. More than 25 people are coming to the party. We're serving it in where hot now. If you wanna get COVID baby, COVID baby, COVID girl. COVID girl. Hey, I'm social distance. COVID baby, give us praise. Good kisses on your covered lips. Oh, face mask, the basic cream. Wipe down the sanitizer. Disinfectant wipes. Go grab the sanitizer. The glittery one is a moment, baby. Come on, you're going to be I'm calling you the party. We're going to make for a hot dog. On the news today, it's baby day. Stay home with your quarantine queen, but I'd rather be with my COVID baby instead. The love is plenty. My vision is 2020. Give me some passion, baby. COVID girl. COVID baby. COVID girl. free of some social love and distance. You know what you do from me to you. Boo head, boo head, boo head, boo head, boo head, that's you. Boo head, boo head, boo head, boo head, boo head, boo head, that's you. Got it, baby, 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 got it, baby.
You're listening to Time for the Show!
Broadcasting live on freethinkradio.com
And Soundcast on youtube.com/freethinkradio. It's me with Freethink Radio, the freethinkradio.com show that is
mostly music and
always different.
is welcome. Everyone's fun time.
Every Tuesday,
You'll enjoy 20th Century Radio
broadcasts at 8 p.m. Eastern.
The fun time 10
Old time here at midnight and instrumental long plays
after noon on
freethinkradio.com. Please, got to talk about the song?
Tell about the soap, please. Come on. Keep it posted.
Hold on, I'm thinking, soap is nice and everybody likes soap and it's pretty good to have soap if you need it. Where is that soap thing?
You're primed and ready when you get back from the commercial break. We played the first song.
We're gonna do soap. I didn't know we were gonna do the soap thing. About
do the soap thing every week. We're sponsor. We do it every week. Go ahead. Do it.
Every day, you're right. Every day, every week, every day you will touch your face. You're probably touching your face right now, which is disgusting. Your hands could easily come in contact with surfaces riddled with chloroforms, staph, listeria, and fecal material traces. This can increase your likelihood to get sick, and potentially others. That's where Triology Soaps comes to the rescue. Washing your hands with Triology Soaps is scientifically proven to reduce the risk of self and cross-contamination. Don't risk your life any longer. Get clean. Go to TriologySoaps.com now!
And you can now get Triology Soaps exclusively on one website or the other. And more at Slack.com.
I'll also point out that the song that you heard over our break, that is from, I have to bring up my my notes here again. Excuse me, that's with Nate Marks and Rubik's Cube. That was the hit song COVID Girl from the album Bob Comp 1, now available at packslack.com. And tonight's intro music you gotta let me finish doing the read. Yeah, the intro music was Reverend Negative, and that was Welcome to Dobbs.town. Now do it. Oh, I see that Pease's downloads per second is dropping. We're losing Pease. We're lagging out. What are we gonna do, Pease? With you specifically, other than have just a Jim Dandy of a hoo-ha. Also got the Patreon shout. Let's go ahead and give the Patreon shout outs. Where are we at here? Well, did we do top of the month? What was last week? Was last week the first Monday of the month? It was. So everybody gets a shout out this week, and then next week just the weeklies, because that's the whole incentive of doing this. And if you want to support the efforts, and get goofy stuff in the mail, and meet a whole bunch of kooky, unique individuals who totally want to be nice to you and be your bestest friend ever, then head over to patreon.com/hypercube and sign up today, and you'll get Discord perks and access to unique rooms like our Scabs room, my favorite. and rooms where we plot the demise of other users. So this week, let's sort by pledges here. What do we got? We got the pledges, Peas. Peas, are you ready to pronounce the pledges? I want you to say something nice about everybody on this list. Dr. Cosmac?
Cosmax Commandos! His crack crew of commandos and
Crack crew.
RV. Fuck, let me start over. Cosmax Crack Squad.
You gotta start over with the screaming.
And remote control.
Scream Cosmax Commandos again.
Cut!
It broke up. I'm sorry, I was talking over you.
Cut!
Okay, on 3.
I was
Ready?
eating chocolate.
1,
Alright.
2. You were eating? You put food in your mouth before you talked into a microphone? I am the only
Right,
one
but
allowed to do
still
that.
do
I am an engineer. I'm the only one that gets to
I
do
said
that.
earlier you should always eat something on the air, but go
I
ahead,
do.
here we go.
I do.
On 3. On 3.
All right,
I want you
1,
to- No, I'm not.
2. This
let's
is for
take
Dr.
turn.
Cosmac.
3.
Okay.
Alright.
3.
Alright. Cosmax Commandos! Capable, culpable, and crafty! Their remote-controlled airplane drones fly over our cubicles and pylons, keeping us safe from Nazi and Soviet hordes. All the while China's on the moon, Cosmax Commandos fight the good fight to keep us, America, in the battle.
That's pretty good. All right, what do we got here? Reverend Red.
Reverend who?
Reverend Red, R-E-D. Oxtail and Vodka member.
Oh, Reverend Fred, your time has come, Reverend Red. It's time for you to take the mantle and lead on to the victory, because without you, we'd have nothing. And right now, nothing is all we have, so we need you. Thank you, patron.
All right, Michael Marcus.
Michael Marcus, remember that time we banged those whores and we had to put one over in the boat in the river because she died from doing all that coke, and we swore we'd never talk about it again? I haven't told anybody, dude. We're good.
All right, Trenchy.
Trenchy! I miss you so much, my friend. You move away, you do some show, and now you're gone. I miss you so much. Please, please, please. I sent you those nudes in confidence. You told me you were doing an art study. I don't want to see them popping up like I've seen them pop up in this Discordian chat rooms.
That's the first
I
time
don't know
that
why you would betray me like that.
I sense you knew. Did he? I didn't hear the chief complaint of sending nudes. So I guess you're good. Because he sent some back, right?
They were tasteful.
Okay. Scalpod.
I like the one with the plus. Scalpod. Scalpod. Our relationship has been an odd and strange journey.
Okay, you only get 5 seconds.
An eight-armed machine that doesn't know how to handle human emotions, but yet you've saved me many times, my robot Scalpod friend. And for that, I'll drink this rum and coke for you.
Couch Sloth. Reverend Couch Sloth.
Reverend Couch Sloth.
.com.
Reverend motherfucking Couch Sloth. Here's the thing, dude. When you run into the room all out of breath and you say the Packy's gonna close in 16 minutes and we're out of beer, and my dude will meet me there at the 7-Eleven and we can get another quarter ounce of weed. Reverend Couch Sloth is the guy who gets his drunken ass off the couch and says, I got a lawnmower. We can make it. And off you go, and you score your beer, and you score your weed, and the day is saved. Thank God. Thank Bob for Couch Sloth.
Caller 23.
Caller 23, the nemesis of the peas. For many years we battled on the radio. Him with his long-winded stories that went nowhere. Me with my witty banter that made the audience crave more. And yet, eventually, we came to have a mutual admired respect for each other's radiosity, precocity, and technicosity. And so with that monstrosity, I take my hat and lip its atrocity towards you, RC23.
I'm a subgenius.
Poems is easy if you can make up your own words.
All words are made up.
That's true.
I'm a
Don't
subgenius.
blame me for using
We're like
the
halfway
rules.
through the list, Peas.
Oh, that's it? Man, it's a long list. We got so many fabulous patrons.
We do. We have a lot of them. This is their Christmas gift. Is
They're
you're
wonderful
going to say
people.
something nice
There we
about them
go.
on the radio.
It's so easy to say nice things about nice people, Fox.
All right. Well, then do the next person.
Okay. Who is it?
I told you. I told you twice.
No, you didn't.
I did. After caller 23 came, I'm a subgenius.
Oh, I'm a subgenius. Oh, no. It's such a clever name. It's so clever, it fooled the peas, and he didn't even know that that's who Fox was talking about. You got me yet again with your clever little name and your twist. And your support is something that I love and admire about you. That you would take time out of your busy slavery to the corporate gods that we all serve and give me a little bit of your cheese just so I would say nice things about you on the radio. I get that, dude. I get that. I'd pay somebody to say nice things about me if I knew somebody that had a radio show. Love ya.
Apostasy
You're the best.
Fenord.
She's the best of all of us. And if you know Fnord, you know that. And she is one of my bestest friends in the whole organization. And when we seize power, I'm going to make her like in charge of taking care of dumbasses. She'll be deciding what goes on with it because she is smart and she is a great artist and she is a good friend. And there's so many awesome things to say about her that I feel dumb that these are the things that I chose to say because I could have talked about what a great mom she is, what a great friend she is. Again, she's so talented as an artist in so many different formats. And I've had the benefit, really, I should be her patron because I've watched her from her first art showing at Amy Mothenbog's studio in Ohio to the great evolution that her work has become now, all while she's struggled with her own physical demons. Hats off to you, Fnord. You fucking rock.
Long dead.
Long dead. You know, I gotta get my spreadsheet out because I feel like I do know you, but then I feel like no, because it could be somebody's sock puppet. But
He's very active as an Illuminati spy on the Dobscord server, which if you haven't joined yet, you can go to subgeniuses.com or dobscord.subgeniuses.com and join the official Church of the Subgenius unofficial. Of the official Church of the Subgenius, we are the unofficial Discord server. Head on over to Dobscord today and talk to Long Dead. Tell him
that's
you
what
said
Onan
hi.
Cannabite. That's what Onan. Yeah, is that the one that Onan Cannabite's?
Yeah, he's there.
Sort of.
Yeah, he's there. No, this is the one. This is the one we're running.
So Long Dead, I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah, we know you're. I don't think you're on
I'm gonna go
Dobscord.
check it out because
you don't know anybody there. You could be making so many interesting friends, Peas, as the ambassador of the Church of the Subgenius. You're such an important figure, Peas, and you're not flexing that enough. You need to make sure that people know that like you're the most important person in the Church of the Subgenius right now.
That's not how it works, dude. That's because that's bullshit.
Well,
That's
no, you
stupid.
need to come shake hands and kiss babies. That's your job as the most important person in the Church of the Subgenius Public Relations Department. You need to be on the front lines consistently, all the time, constantly. You need to be just licking hands and
You do that
shaking
because
babies.
I'm a narcissist, not because I'm important.
Well, yeah, you can live with that delusion for a few more
I
years.
can.
That works. Have you been to
I
Dobbs
do.
Court, Peas? Have you signed in? Have you gotten verified? That's the really cool thing over at Dobbs Court. Is everybody that thinks it's important to prove that they're a subgenius, and they do that by posting pictures of their cards. We have built this awesome catalog of membership cards from across the years. That's what's really cool. Somebody came in the other day with the Dallas address. Caller 23 says his card has the Dallas address, but I don't know if he's supplied evidence of that yet. But one of our members definitely does.
I have a gold card made out of
have the goldest gold card.
I do.
It was worth every penny. It was worth every penny.
I paid $100 for it.
Wow. I heard some people paid almost that much. That's fantastic.
No one paid that much for it, dude. I'm the only idiot that did that. That was when I was a new.
I haven't seen anybody else with a gold card, though. I don't think I've met any gold card holders. Stang had some at X Day, at the last X Day that I went to. I was hooking up lights.
He's giving away for nothing.
Yeah.
$10.
I was there. I was there hanging up the lights for his show. And I was like, well, I'm not going to pay for one. I should be given one. I believe I've earned a gold card. What do you mean?
You're hanging the fucking lights.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He had me down. Cosmac and I had to follow behind him and undo all the trip hazards. Reverend Stang is obviously a good filmmaker because he doesn't adhere to one OSHA standard at all. At all. Cable on the floor.
I got people personally calling my house right now, complaining about my frame rate. My frame rate.
Your frame rate? People are calling your house because of your frame rate?
Yeah, I just got an IM on my phone from my good friend Sam saying, once you get a better internet service, you're like 23 times slower than Argus Fox on the video. Everyone's complaining, Fox, about
you
my
mean you got a
frame rate.
text? You got a text on your phone?
You got a text telling me that my video.
What did you refer to it as?
Bad.
You got a direct message to your cell phone? Is that what you described it as? Or an instant message?
I can't remember.
What was your AOL username, Peas? How many?
You know I drink your show. Why do you do this to me?
Which? I can't
All
hear
the
you because
things.
your internet keeps cutting out. Half the
is
show
it?
is just me coming up with things to say to fill in when your internet cuts out. So I don't know who.
I'll have to.
I don't know who's sending you hot messages on AIM, but do me a favor, send them a badass buddy back. Do the one with like the Gordon Freeman avatar. Send that back to him. Give him a winky face. Semicolon. Winking.
Not doing it.
Send him that back and we'll get on it. That's the whole show. We still got more of these people. Long Dead. Say something nice about Long Dead.
Said how awesome he was, and that I was going to go to that site and go check it out. But then I realized that whole Dobbs Court thing, the reason I lost interest in it immediately when I went to it is because it was like, oh, you got to validate yourself or something. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm the Peas. I don't need to validate myself. I know who I am.
Well, you're in
You should
there.
know
You're in there,
who I
aren't
am.
you? Because somebody named Peas
Well, I
is
guess.
in one of the rooms. At least
Well,
every
it
other
says
day.
restricted access. Well, that ain't me.
It's not?
Really?
No, somebody's
No.
somebody's in there as you.
Dude, I'm not.
It's you. It's
I'm
your
not allowed
picture.
No, it's not.
It is. You're in
Doesn't
there.
mean anything, dude.
You're in there.
I'm not.
I'm looking right now. Are you in here?
I'm telling you.
With a little P.
I'm not.
Yeah, there you are. Right click for more action.
Let me see it.
Okay, yeah, hold on. I'll send it over. How do I do this?
I think it's a false piece.
No one would do that. See right over here.
Of
Peace.
course they would do it, dude.
There you are. You're in there. And and he talks to people. He's got permissions. What, Peace? You didn't want to come on and post a picture of your card? Are you card shy?
That's not me. I can't see it.
Look at all these other good boys and girls that put all of their personal information up on the internet. They're great. Oh, maybe it is Reverend Ghoul.
Yeah.
Maybe
That doesn't
he's
sound
like
like-
a Dallas card holder.
Doesn't sound like something I would do. I don't release my personal information on the internet.
It's the best thing to do. Yeah, Onan's here. Everybody's here, Peas. And they're having a great time every day, all the time on Dobbs Cord.
I'm not there.
Well, I'm just to make
I got a
this
little
user
pipe
feel
thing
better.
called Dobbs.
Oh, so you are? Yeah, so you are in. Exactly. There's nobody in there pretending to be you.
No, look, there's 3 things in here. It says welcome, rules, links, announcements, support.
Yeah,
That's
the
it.
rules are my favorite part. Okay, say something nice about Brother Other.
Brother Other from my other mother, whom I don't speak to, unfortunately. But, what a great thing. I'm glad you like the show. It's an awesome show. It's better because you listen to it. It's even more better that you help us pay and defray for the costs of soaps and salves and chocolates that we have to ingest to be able to do the show. It takes a huge amount of cigarettes and caffeine to keep the show going. And we thank you for that. We couldn't do it without you.
You seem so flustered and sad. Are you upset
Well,
that I brought up your instant messaging days?
No, I just don't know what this whole, you distracted the stupid Bob's cord because I don't think that I actually have any rights to it. It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Let's do the next one.
Yeah, it's important. This one is important.
I don't
all
even
right.
care about it.
This one's important. All right. This one's for Martha Artha and Dr. Ellis. It's Christmas, Peas. Come on now.
Well, here's the thing. I gotta tell you something. For a couple of Tim Horton milking, bag, drinking, buying Canadians, I don't think we'd have a show if it wasn't for these two, because it's their radio station, and they're super awesome.
And their YouTube channel.
Even made a super cool magazine for a while. It was super awesome. They got a YouTube channel, and besides that, Doc Ellis is somewhat of a craftsman. He can take almost anything and do something out of it. I've seen him repair and restore things. It would just amaze you. Talents like that are just beyond me, because I like to think I could do stuff like that, and I want to be that kind of person, but all I do is make disasters and fuck things up. And he actually makes workable things out of what he does. And Martha Arthur, what a great soul she is. And both of them, they sent me and Carrot's wonderful salt and
Is that somebody
It's a salt
pinging
pepper
you on
shaker. I
Yahoo
know it sounds
Messenger?
No, they can go fuck off while I talk about my good friend Doc Ellis and Martha Arthur.
Well, you got
Because,
7 more good
I
friends
think
to
when people
do.
take time out of their day, when people take time out of their day and they send you something because it made them think of you, that's a very special gift, and it's really thoughtful in the sense that you've had an impact on someone, that they would think of you in that way. And I'm thankful for that relationship with both of them, as I am for all these Patreons, but they're especially giving people that recognize my talent, and I appreciate that recognition. I don't get it a lot, and I enjoy working and collaborating with them and being a part of their radio family.
You are very talented, Peas. All right, Agent Lloyd.
Agent Lloyd, my brother, you have struggled with some stuff recently, I heard through the grapevine. I do not know any details of it, but you have my number and you know how to get a hold of me. If you need to talk, you need something, you give me a call. so far I've kind of given you a you got this type of thing. But if you don't got this, reach out, and I'll do what I can to give you a hand.
Virtual fist bump.
Yeah.
Reverend
Virtual
Negative.
finch bump. Yeah, hang
Finch
tight.
bump, exactly.
Reverend
Send him a small
Negative.
wren, a small
You know,
bird. Finch bump.
He's another host of a show here on the network, the media network that we run via the Pylon Network. And God loving you, dude. It seems like I'm seeing a lot of pictures of you in Facebook. It seems that you are also enjoying your life right now, and for that, I am truly thankful, because I feel that you deserve that, and I'm glad to see it manifesting itself.
Never had sex, actually. 100% pure. He's a powerhouse. Hazel of the Windmills.
Yeah, but he has a nice companion though too. You know, that's his thing. Whatever. It doesn't matter. He's still happy. Hazel of the Windmills.
Running long. Okay.
Never forget.
Run on
the
Patreon.
time,
Run on Patreons. Okay. Whatever.
You said to do him. I'm doing him. I'm trying to pick it up, but it's Christmas
Hazel
time. You know what?
of
Fuck
the
it.
Windmills.
People have supported us all year. We can go long on the Patreons. One of my biggest fans, and I'm actually I think a bigger fan of her than she is of me, even though I know she's I don't like the word fan, but she's a friend of mine. And I always am amazed at your wit and your intelligence and the things that you say. And many times I think of subtle ways to steal your material and incorporate it into my own. So thank you.
I don't even try. I just steal it and put it in.
Just steal it.
A lot of
She's
we
great.
played a lot of Hazel's
A great
music
person.
over song breaks and intermissions. Oh man.
Radically talented person. Radically talented person.
All right. I believe this is Reverend Loch Ness.
Reverend Loch Ness, the
Rubik's
monster.
Cube. Available on slackpack.com.
Strike back. Strike back. Dude.
What do you say?
again, higher praise cannot be given to a fellow artist than to support their art. And for that, I am truly humble.
Because you
that
paid
you-
for it multiple times. Exactly.
Multiple times, and I hope that I meet. It's hard to put a monetary value on things, but I hope that we're meeting and sometimes exceeding your expectations. As you know, any kind of art form is subjective. Some things hit, some things don't. We try to be very experimental here. We wouldn't be able to do any of that if it wasn't for your extensive support, and we super appreciate it. It's and it's kind of like sometimes when you don't want to do show, you think, oh, these people paid for me to do this, and they're not really paid me to do it, but they're making it easier for us to do it, and they're really showing, hey, I'm listening. Not only am I listening, I'm giving you a couple of bucks, and that's what drives it home, where you're like, okay, I'm resonating. And so for me to get that feeling, I think for Fox to get that feeling, we thank you deeply from the bottom of our hearts.
Chowabunga.
Fox doesn't have it. Huh?
Chowabunga. Algae level member.
Cowabunga. Now, this is a new Patreon, right?
Yeah.
Or is this somebody who's just changed their name?
Joined October.
So, dude, okay, so a recent thing, I gotta apologize to you, but I want you to understand something. I'm gonna make it my effort to try and find you on Discord and chat a little bit, learn a little bit more about you, because a lot of these people I've known and met in the past, and that you took time to be a Patreon and support the station and support me and Fox's show. I'd like to personally thank you for that, and offer my friendship, as long as you're not too creepy or weird or something. Here's the thing: if I ever say to you the word emergency, That's my safe word, and you should back off a little, okay? But until I have to say that, let's try and be friends, okay? Thank you so much for your patronage.
Top 3 safe words of the week.
Emergency.
Emergency. Garfield.
Crepe Suzette.
Now, I always thought the
Lemon's
idea
best.
of the safe word is something that you wouldn't think of, things that you're not going to think of saying when like having your shit kicked in, correct?
Yeah. Lemon zest, lemon zest, lemon zest,
You
lemon
don't-
zest.
Now I think getting my shit kicked in, I would think of lemon zest a lot. When was the last time you paid somebody to stomp a spiked high heel into your gonads, Peas?
I know that you find this hard to believe, but I've been married for almost 32 years, and that's the only person I've been with in that entire period of time.
Well, it's not being
That's
with
how I like it.
somebody. It's not. Is that the way that you see it? Like you don't have people hurt you? You don't just pay people to hurt you anymore? Is that it? You're not just
Oh,
married
yeah.
because the sex is good, are you? Because now you don't have any teeth, so I know she's getting the good end of everything now. Have you been sucking all of the candy and chocolate off of the Jordan almonds and putting them back into the bowl, and waiting for for the neighbor kids to come by and take some?
Oh no, we don't let neighbors.
What have you been plotting? What have you been
plotting?
plotting in the neighborhood? Like you've obviously had ideas to harass and like manufacture conspiracy to generate animosity between your neighbors. Like kind of get them going in little fights against themselves. Like,
I probably should have been.
have you formed a
doing more of
militia?
that.
Have they formed a
I
militia
probably
yet?
should have been. I probably should have been doing more of that, but there was some really good, like Doom Patrol was on Netflix or HBO, and
Is that
it was a slow start, but it got pretty good, so I got distracted.
you're watching TV during all of
Binged it.
this?
During COVID, yeah.
Man,
I watched the whole every.
that seems like one of the
Twice.
worst drugs out there right now is TV. It doesn't seem to be
Television?
Yeah. Obviously a drug. Obviously, just design. It pumps in ideas all day, telling you, hey, if you enjoy this, watching, a guy
It would be awesome.
pass
It
a
would be
paternity
awesome.
test.
It would be awesome if
Well,
it
wait.
pumped up.
What are the results? Is there
It
a
would
is it a pass fail on a paternity test? And what is the pass? What is the fail? Which one? Because I believe that's all perspective as
Here's
well.
the thing.
Who's the best breakdancer? Do you think
If
that they
it-
hire breakdancers to go on Maury? That's the big Hollywood conspiracy nobody's talking about right now. Is the executive producers of Dr. Phil and Maury and Steve Wilkos and Jerry Sanders and
Yep.
Lemmy
They put-
Devato. They've
Our
all
TV station put
they're
Dr. Phil on at
all
1 o'clock.
hiring break dancers to go have protected sex with women. That then when these women later have children, they bring them on just so they can do these awesome break dances when they hear that they are not the father. How many times have you been told you are not the father?
Never as the father every time.
Every time?
Every time, man.
And so which time would you break dance? How many of those were break dance moments? Every single time? Every single time
No,
was a
I
break
like
dance
it.
moment? Well, yeah, because they're
Both
yours.
times I was like
That's the
stoked
good
it was my
time.
kid. Yeah.
So you're break dancing for the Lord is basically what it is. Were you raised Catholic?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys never really got any kind of like sexual education other than
went
like
to-
just do it,
Went
right?
to- no. Oh, I'm true. I went to Catholic school, but my parents were kind of liberal hippies in a sense. So which is odd because my mom became Abraham Lincoln in her later years. But I got
grew
this
a
book
beard?
called, and I think I got this book in the first grade called Where Did I Come From? And it's like a little cartoon book.
that you
and
were
it talks
set for
about
life.
penetration and sperm and ovum. And I read that book and I was like, wow, that's interesting.
How many times did you
And,
read that book?
I actually think I got in trouble for discussing it with some people at school. It's like first or second grade, and then my parents were like kind of pissed at me because we're like, we told you to keep that shit to yourself, and you first thing you did is you went to school and you told all the other fucking Catholic kids where babies come from, and so now everybody's pissed at us at the church.
So
And I
they
was
were
like,
still going to
yeah.
church. So they're liberal hippies, but they're going to church. Did you go to
Yeah,
church?
it's a weird time. I mean, 60s, dude. It's the 60s. Yeah, I went to church for a while. Oh, actually, I went on and off. I went when I was a kid because I had to. As soon as I could stop going as a teenager, I did. And then I went back as an adult for a period of time when my kids were like 5 and 6 years old because I felt I should at least just.
When you went, but
But
when
they
you
should
went
get some
back,
kind of
did you go back to the
formalized-
Catholic Church, or did you try something else?
Yeah. No, I went back to the Catholic Church. Those other people are crazy.
You would imagine so. No, I never went to
Yeah.
a church where we put on costumes every week and carried smoking lanterns down as everybody
lived.
recited verses by
Wait a
memory.
minute.
Yeah,
I thought you said you grew up Baptist.
we're
What do you call
American
clothes?
Christians
You're
is what
dressing
we
up in
are.
you're dressing up in them.
We don't
plaid
have
robes right
hats.
after Mass.
We don't do hats. That's
Yeah, you
impolite.
do. They're
Listen,
partying.
no, we don't. Baptists don't wear. Okay, well, yeah, but we don't wear those indoors.
Okay,
That's
a good
the idea.
point.
That's the idea
That's
of
a good
going
point.
inside, is because it gets hot in this fucking thing.
Take the fucking thing off.
Oh
Goddamn cross is
man.
burning like a motherfucker. That goddamn cross put off some heat. Woo! I didn't think it'd be that
I
hot.
singed my fringe.
It's alright, my wife will fix it up, boys.
Yeah, we had routines, but you showed up at a certain time, and like we did the whole morning. So I would get there for like Sunday school, and even before Sunday school would be like a pre-church service and kind of just like open activity time. And for the parents, there was like an early Sunday. For my mom, she was in the choir. Big surprise, right? So we went early, and then I spent, I don't know, we would leave the house between 7 and 8, and we would be there until after 12 every Sunday. And then a lot of Sundays we came back around 5 o'clock, and then there was choir practice and then Bible studies that night. And so we did that Sunday and Wednesday consistently. And then I went to a Christian
Did
school.
the Wednesday reading too, huh?
Yeah, so it was interesting
Goddamn.
for me. It's something that my parents weren't in. My parents went to public school. My dad was religious, but my mom found Jesus. This is kind of the big difference between them. Like my dad's a Christian, but my mom, found Jesus. And there's some archetypes.
Yeah,
There's
she's
some
walking on
differences
the
between
sand with
these
him.
two. Yeah. And so I was, I'd get a Bible lesson every day, and I'd get one at school, and that would tie in. And then once a week we would have a weekly chapel service that was kind of non-denominational, but it was usually like Baptists and Methodists. But we never did.
So you could let that.
No,
you could let
growing
the
up,
black
they told
kids
us
go
that
to
you
one.
were just a cult. That was the basics of it. Is that Catholics were in the world's biggest cult, and that you were that you had your own beliefs of how you got to heaven, and that a lot of it was wrong, and it was built on exploiting people for money and power and slavery and things like that, and that you owned MasterCard. So that's all we ever heard about you. We heard that you were nice people, but where I grew up, I mean, I never saw any. I saw one Catholic kid in my school or anywhere else I ever went. I knew one Catholic girl. She was hot.
You know what's great about being Catholic now is we're the Jews of the 21st century.
Yeah, you're being oppressed.
It's so awesome. And
you're out of the
so
closet. Everybody has seen all the horrible things that you guys have done. Oh, you can be a self-hating Catholic?
It's only fair.
Well, it's...
Well, I don't practice the faith anymore. As many people know, the peace is... Peace don't buy the mysterious gods thing anymore. Doesn't buy
you're getting all cocky. You got up on one shoulder for that.
For Zeus... No, I just... Here's the thing. Let's say it's all true, right? You're going to tell me this guy that created the whole world, created us, and then we've been around for like 10,000 years, 100,000 years as a species, and everybody that wasn't around 2,000 years is damned to burn in hell because they didn't have the foresight to be Catholic or Christian, if you want to broaden it that much.
Yeah, that's known as the Great Exemption. Now hold on.
What kind of asshole
Show me
does
on
that?
the doll. Show me on the doll where God touched you. Okay?
God has touched me. God has touched me.
There was.
God has touched me.
If you
and I feel
you
bad
will just
because I still don't
accept the idea. If you just accept that, God set evolution into motion and that man being made out of clay, it's just a bunch of metaphors. Just a bunch of metaphors for God guiding man to where it... But then God lets man do its own thing. And the first thing we do is... Or they do. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. They got all rapey and killy. Murdery. It wasn't a great time. It's not God's fault. God just helped us out of the water. And now you're all mad because your great grand uncle went over and smashed a 2x4 into the back of somebody's skull and scrape the gray matter out like hummus, right? That's just getting nutrients, Pete. It's just getting nutrients. If you want to talk about how mean God is, well, then if you remove God from the equation, then that means that all the terrible things that have happened in history are because of people. And that's even worse.
That is why they happen.
That's even worse.
That's not worse. That's the truth.
It's even
That's
worse.
The truth.
Why would you want to believe that? Why would you want to? God gave you a chance, Peas. He gave you a chance. And you've got a chance. They had a chance. And he has even made it easier. He's made it easier. He even threw his hands up and said, you know what? I'll admit I might not have made it clear to you. And then he sent his only begotten son down to you. And you nailed him to a tree, Peas. You drove 9-inch nails, brand new album, through his wrists and nailed him to a tree. That's what you did. You did that. You did that.
I thought they just tied him up.
But it's okay because he forgives you. And so if you justify, if you, hey, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. And you nailed him to a tree. You nailed him to a tree. You did.
I didn't.
You
I
did.
didn't do anything.
Who did it
The
then?
Romans didn't want to do it.
Who did it?
I don't want to say.
You
I don't
don't.
want to say. I don't want to say.
If you didn't do it, who did?
The Jews did it. The Jewish priests did it. They begged.
I wasn't
they begged
going-
Pontius Pilate to do it.
I was just looking for like, I don't know. I thought his name would be like Romius.
Let's say
Or
let's say the
I
historical.
wasn't opening up.
let's say the
Okay, we just hit YouTube, and you're gonna take us down the Gavin McInnes trail. Be careful now.
I'm just
I
gonna,
see that you got your Proud
know,
Boys
you ask me
Sriracha on. The peas
No,
Sriracha. You've got your anarchist black bloc poncho on. You look like you're about to go raid a Del Taco.
No, I would get a Roberto's, probably. That's pretty good.
Do they do the red sauce on the burrito?
No, that's like a New Mexico thing. They can get like a red or green sauce on anything. But here you get more of a. It's not nothing like what we'd have in Florida. It's very different. It's more Baja California, Nevada, Arizona mash of shit, which is totally different.
Well, no, that's
than
all we get
Mexican
over
food
here.
in
We
New
get
Mexico.
stuff that says it's like that because we don't have it here. Our native cuisine is like lizard tail.
Gator.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dude, what are you gonna do about them snakes? You guys gotta get rid of them Burmese pythons. They're taking over the Everglades.
Man,
And the lionfish.
I've had a nightmare about those. I legitimately fear those snakes. And I've seen, and already when I had a job earlier in my life, I worked at a place that was infested with snakes. And you had two different kinds. There were the black ones that were venomous, and then you had the black ones that were not venomous. That was pretty much it. And they were both there, and there were tons of them, and I just see them every day. And I knew I had to park my car and walk into the building. And at any point, a fucking snake was going to go by. I have, oh man, now I've lost it again. I found my digital camera because my phone didn't have a camera on it back then. And I caught a picture of an eagle eating some roadkill on the highway that I used to take around here, and also of a snake. And this snake, the end of its nose is reaching the curb, like right where the curb and the asphalt meets on the road, and the tip of his tail is just at the end of the yellow line, like the very beginning of the yellow line. And that thing was terrifying. I thought at first it was a cable that you were going to drive over and it was going to count your car as it went over. But it looks like Pease has quit. Doesn't look like he wants to do time for the show anymore, which, wow! We've gone totally into chopping block. I guess Pease got yelled at by Carrots and was like, "You're using up all the internet and I have to download all this." Cool. I don't want to say anything mean or nasty about Carrots. That'd be bad. She's nice. If I said something about, she'd say, "Pease, you're not doing that radio show anymore because Dr. Fox said something nasty or mean or inappropriate about me."
Yeah, I was trying to check out that Dobbs cord thing.
Oh, you
and it
left?
said, no, I didn't mean to though. I just clicked the wrong thing, and it was like, "Oh, go here," and it's, "Oh, you're not allowed to chat here." So I was like, "See what I'm talking about?" I go, "Yeah, fuck it."
Why did you go check it in the middle of the show?
Because I was concerned someone might be impostering me.
Well, somebody is in there and chatting in the rooms that are for verified members only.
But that's not me though, because I'm not allowed in that room.
But I looked and you said that was you, that you're on the server,
No,
and you're
not
saying
me.
it might just say that it's unverified. It's labeled unverified, but you should be verified. There's no problem.
I'm concerned that someone is sullying the name of the Peas. in a what would appear to be a legitimate, subgenius location.
You think somebody
And
would
that
make an
piece-
account with your name and say things on the
It's
internet?
happened before.
It's happened before.
Oh yeah, sure. A lot of people want to be the peas, but it's hard to be the peas. You can't just make an account and be the peas. See, the thing about it, I told you guys this before. When I'm gone, someone else will become the peas, but I'm still fucking here. So fuck off.
Have you any choices on who the replacement peas is going to be?
No, it's like being the Dalai Lama. I really won't have any say in it. I'll be dead. But I imagine if you're still around,
The Dalai Lama's
couple
not dead,
others-
though. The Dalai Lama's
Yeah.
alive.
but when he dies and they go to find the reincarnation of him, they have to go to a bunch of candidates. And I expect the same kind of
which
thing will
means
happen when I die.
So he didn't die.
You and Fid and Shoggoth and a couple of other people will have to go around the country and show
Have to.
Yeah, and give them my glasses, maybe my teeth, and see which kid grabs them.
You
and then
haven't
you'd be
sent
like,
me
"That
any of
could
those
be a
teeth
piece."
yet. You were supposed to
Because
send me the teeth.
I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. You don't need those relics till you're trying to find the new peas.
.com.
And then the child that tries to grab the glasses and the teeth of peas, you'll know is the new peas. But these things will be revealed to you upon my departure from this coil.
Are you planning on doing that anytime soon?
No. Did you see that Heaven's Gate documentary? It made me so proud of the church.
The Heaven's Gate The Heaven's Gate documentary?
Yeah, there's a good
The one
series.
with it's got that really awesome
No, it's
shot of
on
the brunch line. They're all in their tracksuits lining up for that slice of ham. They're like, this is
Yeah.
gonna be great.
Hey, here's the thing, dude. I told you earlier about that guy Cat that I saw in the computer store, Trader's Computer. I probably shouldn't use these stories because these would be good lies or truths. But the Heaven's Gate people, I met a couple of them. They used to come in and rent computers from us because they did web pages. They're very nice fucking people and wicked fucking smart.
Yeah, they're really smart.
Well, mostly.
They're super.
Sorta.
I would imagine they were the nicest people you've ever met. Those guys.
They really were, dude.
Those
They were
guys from
so-
the Heaven's Gate.
They were so fucking awesome. They really were.
Super Mormons.
But I thought they were all men too, and it turns out, in retrospect, a couple of them that I met probably were women.
But only in retrospect, not in actuality. Only in your
in
mind.
actuality, when
Only
I'm
in your
telling
mind
you-
could they
listen,
have been women. In all concerning reality, they were just kind of
when
weird
the
looking
four of them
guys.
came into Trader's Computers. I thought it
Traders?
was 4 men. Trader Computers. That's where I used to work in
Because
San
you
Diego.
can't trust them.
That was like a rent-to-own computer business. It was a good business model. We made money. They came in, and like I said, they seemed like very nice gentlemen. But now, having known more about them, and it wouldn't have surprised me that there was a couple of girls there too, because they're all kind of androgynous. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say about what people look like sexually. I don't know if I can say it.
Well,
It's
how
like
does-
an effeminate
how-
man.
how do I-
Maybe there's a special fucking word for that.
No, hold on, because I want to know. Okay, how to describe them sexually?
No, I just
Is that
like,
what you? No, but wait, is that what you said?
genderly, I guess.
Well, no, you guess now.
In my generation, things were
The
very
before
gender
4 times.
specific. Right, the before 4 times. Now, gender is much more fluid, and there's much more definitions for it. So I worry sometimes when I talk about, they all look
Wait,
like.
let me ask you: Is it
That could be offensive because there's
gender
all
is
people
more
like that.
fluid now than it was before? Gender wasn't as fluid as it was then, or is gender
Not
more
as-
fluid
not
now?
I think it's more open now. I don't know whether. You know what, dude? I'm going to go out on a limb here. To some extent, I think some of the issues that we have with gender and what's going on in our society now is based on overpopulation. I think it's a psychosocial.
I think it's just everybody wanting to fuck raw. That's what it comes down.
It could be.
I think everybody just wants to fuck raw.
It could be too, and I don't mean that as a Nazi-esque thing to say, because I think that when populations, any animal population gets big, there are social, sexual changes that take place in the herd. You see it in deer, and so it wouldn't surprise me.
And I don't trust deer. Deer don't have to eat. Did you know that?
Well,
they don't.
Please,
I don't trust them. Killing deer is a public service. God's greatest mistake.
You're probably saving me from professional suicide. Well, listen, dude, it's like
Probably.
we're gone over, and I have I got it's time to go.
No, you can't just leave on a half-hour mark like that. If you have, you have to ride out at least till the next break. You got to go for at least another 20 minutes.
It should be now. We've only done one break, and we've already done an hour.
But we didn't need a break now. The big break was doing the Patreons, and we did all of them because it's top of the month, and we didn't do a show last week. So we have to make up for it. We have to. It's your responsibility.
But I did.
Have you? You've only given 150%, Peas.
Look, I'm not even in the
that's
Dobbs
not
Court.
enough.
I'm not even in the Dobbs Court group. What
then you're missing out. You should totally join and post a picture of your card and we'll verify it. But I'm pretty sure you're already in because somebody named Peas is talking in the verified chat rooms. So I'm pretty sure you're already in.
That's a false piece. You're all gonna burn in Peas' house.
Well, then get on and post your card and we'll see.
Nope. I'm gonna be like God. Fuck that. Find me yourself, bitches.
God's not like that. God's been telling you where he is the entire time. But you won't shut your question sprinkler and look for him the right way. You haven't searched your soul hole, Peas. Your heart is like a donut. And in a donut there is a hole. And Jesus is like a donut hole. Because you can't see him. But you can still call something else that and put it in that hole. And so what Jesus really is he is a donut plug. And so if you plug Jesus into the hole in the donut that is your heart, you can at least strive to be jelly or cream filled like the rest of us good people. Otherwise you're just gonna dry out. You're gonna be a crusty old ring burning in hell. And that's the only reason you should do anything. That's the only reason you should, is because you will burn in hell forever. You specifically will burn in hell forever because you don't like donut holes.
Dude, I'm a super nice guy. I've been faithful to my wife. I raised 2 good kids. I've never killed anybody unlawfully. I've never done anything that's too terrible. If I can't get in, I don't want into your head.
You sound like a good enough guy. Like, the only things that I can think of are like you intentionally poisoned children with mushrooms and dumped a bunch of garbage and blamed some Puerto Rican guy illegally, and that you ran a shoplifting scheme moving thousands of dollars in electronics merchandise.
I was being an entrepreneur.
And shot your friend in the foot.
No, I didn't shoot him in the foot.
No, you pointed a gun at somebody that was stealing drugs from you.
That's correct.
And then pulled the trigger and revealed that it was a lighter.
Right. I put myself in dangerous peril with a weapon that.
So you were willing to kill that person over your drugs. So you were. So you did try to kill somebody, right?
No, I tried to scare him into giving me the drugs back.
So you
or
were
the money
all right.
for
So
him.
you were terrorizing somebody. You were committing
He's a U.S.
criminal
Marine. He's
act.
a U.S. Marine.
Okay,
He's
and
a
we're
United States Marine.
yeah, and so now you're going up against a member of the government. Jeez, you're trying to justify it,
Technically.
Peas. You're trying
I
to
don't
justify it. Have you? Are you ready for Saint Peter in that members only jacket? Ready for him to lean back and light a cigarette and say, "Are you ready for this fucking notepad? You bastard!"
That's what he's gonna say.
That's what he's gonna say to you. He's gonna
he's
see
gonna look
you
at me.
halfway through the
No.
line, and he's gonna tell somebody, "You remember that book that I told you to hold on to? Go get it." And that guy's gonna go get the book, and you're just gonna be moving up in line. And people are going to be going, all right, you get in, you hear them click through the turnstile, then the other people just trapdoor, trapdoor, trapdoor. For a while, they've just
Are
left
you
the
done?
door open and let people walk into it and fall straight down.
Are you done?
Am I done?
Yes,
Are
yes,
you ready
you're
for
ready.
St. Peter to read his blue spiral-bound notebook out for you?
Yep.
He's got two
'Cause
books
he's gonna
down
look
there.
at
He's
it.
got Kurt Cobain's
He's
and
gonna
he's got
look at it.
Peas.
He's gonna look at it. He's gonna flip a couple pages on. He's gonna go, "Oh, you're one of them pop-up fucking people that trash those damn bathrooms all the time, aren't you?"
Oh, I thought you meant like a
Yeah, you're
pop-up
not
book.
going anywhere.
You do kind of look like a
No.
pop-up book character.
So, dude, you know what I found out? I learned a couple things this weekend. One is I learned that Indian Pakistani people are moving into the RV lot business, the RV camp business.
Uh-huh.
Before their preview
So they're
was
buying
7-Elevens, hotel, motels. No,
Holiday
they're
Inn.
buying and they're starting to discriminate against people in pop-up campers, the pop-up tent campers, because this is what the guy goes, how come I can't stay here? Oh, we don't rent to pop-up campers. I'm like, okay, I get that, but why? Oh, the pop-up people, they want to use the RV spot, but they don't use the sewage. They only want to use the restroom. I'm like, yeah, we got water and we want to use the power and stuff. No, you only want to use the restroom and you destroy it. You are filthy pigs. No pop-up people. You go. Well, is there any place here around the lake that takes up
French
pop-up campers?
Pakistan.
No, there's not. Well, he might be Soviet influenced. That's why he's got a little Scoops voice in him too. The Soviets were in that area for quite a while, so it's not, unbelievable that there might be a little Slavic influence in the Pakistani accent.
So where did
But
you...
regardless, I did learn. I learned that I bought the white trash camper of campers.
You learned
Most
that
RV
after buying a
parks.
pop-up camper.
After buying it. I did not know that. I did not know that most RV parks would be like,
I have
"Oh, no,
a question
can't
for
stay
you.
here."
In that vinyl
And then
bench...
they asked me.
No, genuinely,
They
I
asked
have
me,
a question for you
why
about the
are you
pop-up
wearing?
camper.
Why are you wearing those man-cut shorts?
They came with the camper. It's a pop-up.
The camper.
In that vinyl
pop-up. They
bench,
come-
in that vinyl
They're
bench
folded
in
up.
the pop-up camper, how many hypodermic
There's
needle
the
holes are
bag.
poked into it?
Not too many. Not too many.
I mean, you're sitting where somebody, pop-up campers are used by people that don't have homes or regular access to homes to basically do drugs and have sex.
Yeah.
So,
There hasn't been that much heroin found in it. There's a little bit of heroin I found the first couple days, but it seems like I might have got it all out.
all right. As long as you're being thorough. Are you going to put some steer horns on it, or do you need pop-up steer horns? And what is the
Oh,
equivalent?
dude, it's such a great
The
question.
equivalent of pop-up
Here's the
steer
problem.
horns is the inflatable alligator bungee corded to it.
No, dude, I got a problem with the fucking steer horns on the Jeep. I didn't get a ticket, but I got a warning that said they exceed the width that can be on as a thing on my Jeep. Because these ones, Cosmac of Cosmac's Commandos, he went nuts when somebody he went nuts when somebody stole my other one, right? So he's like,
Yeah. That was
Pease,
a
you're
nice
eating
gift.
fingers. Dude, it's how come he wasn't on this show? How come I didn't get to say? Oh, I did say nice things about him. He's a really good guy, dude. Anyway, but they're too fucking wide. And Pam and I are talking about. We talked about that very thing. Maybe we should put him on the pop-up thing and mount him on that. And now I'm thinking it's such a nice thing. Maybe I should just hang him on my wall. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Wait, you got I thought you were
but-
getting written up on the pop-up being too wide. Are the horns too wide?
No, the horns exceed the width of the Jeep. And the cop got, like, even though I got them taped off the ends, he's
got
like,
little
he could
tennis
stab
balls
somebody
on
with
'em?
those, dude. I have, like, pieces of styrofoam with Gorilla Tape on it. He says because they exceed the width of the fenders, and it's just by a hair's ass. It's just the tiniest fucking bit. And I'm not sure he might be full of shit. Maybe I could buy smaller or wider
No,
fenders.
you shouldn't have. No, you have the freedom of speech. There's people that go out and drive cars with giant lobsters on them. You gotta give me a break because your horns are too wide.
True too.
That is
That's
definitely
true.
a
No.
Western American problem. We don't have. I guess we don't have that much of a problem with. Well, we don't really have nobody. We don't have a lot of cattle ranchers down here in Florida. You'll get in trouble for your mud flaps down here. He measured them.
It's like that. I seen dune buggies drive down the road before, so I was like really surprised. He measured the horns and then he measured the fenders, and he said,
"Well, are they further out
The tips-
than your mirrors?"
"No, not further out than my mirrors, but they're."
Then what's the problem? If anybody's any closer than your mirrors, what's the problem?
Well, dude, I gotta go read I don't know. Fuck, what am I gonna do? I didn't take them off yet. I just don't know what I'm gonna do.
It makes
about
me
the
want to help you
situation.
fight City Hall. No, I demand, Peas, that you do not remove those steer horns in the name of Cosmax Commandos. You cannot remove those steer
they're
horns.
cool.
It's a principle. It's your religious right. That was a gift from a prophet.
Well, I thought about, I got a handicap plate, and when that guy was giving me shit about the pop-up camper, I was gonna be like, fuck
You were
you, dude.
surprised that you were even able to
that.
drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, you set that one up.
that's a
Come
good
on,
one.
man. Right in there. Right in there.
All right, now listen, you got me.
I may be a
talking
police
for
officer, but
4
you're
minutes
retarded.
without the goddamn break.
You're
It's
retarded.
time for the show to be done.
All right, you only have 9 more minutes to go. Just apologize and we'll cut it. Because we went without a song break. Hold on, I'll even get the song. It's in. All I have to do is start typing Brenda Lee. Everything else is just magic. Oh, what the heck is this? All right, Peas, go ahead, tell them.
Got something new.
And I'm not
Look,
sorry for
I
that.
like that book. What don't
Yeah,
you
it's a
like
good
about
book.
that book? I think that's
What do
a
you
great
mean? There's
book.
nothing. I like it enough that I'm going to eat it.
Oh, okay. I misinterpreted the desire kind of negative prerogative, but it's actually a positive.
Whatever,
Positive.
Steve. Well, you can at least tell them. Can you tell them all to go to www.timefortheshow.com and subscribe to the podcast version of Time for the Show? And can you tell them to support the show directly by sending money at patreon.com/hypercube, and that they can listen to Time for the Show every Monday on Freethink Radio at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and that if they want to be a part of the Time for the Show Society, that they just need to go to timefortheshow.com and click the Discord button and join today and find out about all the exciting new features that they're missing out on by not being a member of the Patreon at patreon.com/hypercube, where they can sign up for unique and diverse rewards that open up boundless new potentials for their Discord experience. Can you at least tell them that for me?
Nope.
All right, well, we'll see you next week on Time for the Show. I'm Dr. Fox. Tell them who you are, please.
I'm the peas.
All right, it's good enough. See you next week, everybody.
Bye.